Forget ordering takeout tonight. Today on One Pot Tiny Kitchen, we'll be cooking chicken jalfrezi in my tiny kitchen on Narrowboat Kate, and we'll be cooking it all in one pot. Now this recipe is slightly more involved than the other ones that I've produced so far. We're basically making a base sauce that will go into the main recipe. You will need a blender of some sort so we can finely blend the sauce. And these are the ingredients for the recipe. As you can see, it's fairly standard ingredients that will go into the recipe. So you've got your chicken, the chilies, red pepper, and the usual herbs and spices that will go into the recipe: the coriander, the turmeric, cumin, garam masala. I've got a tin of plum tomatoes there, and we're going to actually blend that. And the onion, we'll actually split that in two halves, one to go with the chicken and one to go in the base sauce. Green chilli and a couple of cloves of garlic. As always, we're going to be prepping everything ready to go into the recipe so that we're not waiting later on. As you can see, I've finished prepping everything. These items are all for the sauce, and I'll show you the method shortly. And over to here we've got the chicken. You can use different kinds of meat. If you prefer lamb, use lamb, but in this case I'm using chicken, and I've got finely chopped onions, red pepper, chilies. Chilies you can add 2 if you want, and that just makes it a bit hotter. I've left the seeds in, which again makes it a bit hotter. First job is to add the spices to the chicken and put that in the fridge to marinate while you do the sauce. Here we are adding our spices. Sprinkle that on top. That's basically 1 teaspoon of each. All the quantities will be in the description below. And then we just turn that over, getting all those nice spices throughout the chicken. All done. Now we add some oil to the pan, about a tablespoon, and put the heat on. Once we have the oil hot, we add the onions, the garlic, and the green chilli. As you can see, it's quite chunky, the onion and the garlic. That's fine because we're going to blend this into the sauce. And we want to cook this until it's just slightly turning brown. And you see everything starting to get a little bit of brown on there. And just be careful, the garlic will go brown first, so make sure you don't burn that. I'm going to add 250 ml of water. Bring that to a simmer and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. While those onions and garlic are simmering away, I'm going to open our tin of plum tomatoes and place them in the blender. What we want to do is to blend it to a smooth paste. Shouldn't take too long. Just check that. Should be those solid bits in there. That's really good. That's perfect. Okay, that's the onion mix done. I'm going to take that off the heat and put it in a bowl. This is the bowl we used earlier for our onions. And everything goes in there. Okay, in the same pot we add a splash of oil, and to that we add our spices. Now this is one that it's tablespoons of spices. And then we fry that gently for 1 minute, no more than 1 minute. So as always, we don't want to burn it. If you keep it moving, it won't burn. And then to that we add the tomatoes. We bring that to a simmer and cook it for 10 minutes. And you must cook the tomatoes. And while that spiced tomato mix is cooking, we add our onions into the blender. Be careful, this is hot still. And then we blend that to a smooth mixture. That shouldn't take too long because remember we've just cooked the onions. That's ready to go into the tomato mix. And we stir that in. Now we need to season it, and season it generously. Tomatoes do take a lot of seasoning. Okay. Once again we simmer that for between 15 and 20 minutes. One of the good things about this sauce is it's actually a kind of a base sauce which you can use to make many different curries. I will be doing in the future a proper base sauce that restaurants use. Very involved, it's got lots of spices in, maybe a dozen spices. I haven't actually counted them, but it's a lot. And it is really fantastic to use for any curry. So if you're going to make this and you want to freeze some of it, make extra, freeze it in little plastic tubs in roughly 2 cup sizes, and that will be just right for a curry at home. Right, that's a nice base sauce done. Just give it a quick stir. The pan goes back on the heat. Again, add about a tablespoon of oil. We add our marinated chicken in. And we want to fry that until it turns white. Once it turns white, we add all the veg. That's the onions, the peppers, the chilies. Okay, I think that's nearly there. And we add in the rest of the veg. Stir that in, and we're going to fry that until the peppers and the onions go a little bit soft. So maybe 5 minutes. I'll just put the lid on. Okay, that's done now. Give that a little stir. Yeah, perfect. Now we add our tomato base back into the chicken. And stir that all together. We're going to bring that up to a simmer and then let that simmer for 10 to 20 minutes. Okay, that's had its time. Just one more ingredient to add. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of garam masala. I'll just stir that in. And that is ready to serve. Does look delicious. Beautiful colour. And now for the taste test for chicken jalfrezi. That's definitely got a bite. Delicious. And that was chicken jalfrezi made in one pot in my tiny narrowboat kitchen with a view like this. Not too bad, is it? And if you'd like to make this recipe, it's in the description below. See you next time. Take care.